Hey guys, Devin Gridley at All Father Fitness, and today we're going to be talking about testosterone. Everything we could possibly cover about testosterone, and more accurately, how you can actually increase your testosterone, and in the process, increase how many gains you're going to get in the gym, as well as how much fat you're going to lose. And the reason I'm making this video is because I'm tired of seeing other videos from other YouTubers we're not going to name saying that you need to take these supplements, you need to do this, you need to do that to increase your testosterone. And I'm going to break the news to you that that's all kind of bullshit. It has truth to it. They're right that if you do something like take a magnesium and iron supplement or omega-3s, or you eat more salmon, or you do all this stuff, you eat more eggs, whatever, it's going to increase your testosterone. And that's true. But what they fail to mention is the fact that it's going to be very marginal compared to other things you could do in your life to actually increase your testosterone without the use of PDs and, more accurately, steroids. So what I want to quickly go over is, like I said, they say you take all these supplements, and the reason they tell you to take all these supplements is because taking all those supplements makes you your most optimal self. What people fail to realize is that their most optimal self, which means their most healthiest that they could basically possibly be, is going to be the peak of everything. In every hormone, whether it's testosterone, growth hormone, whatever, it's going to be the peak of that. So if you're at your optimal level, then you're going to have all that. The problem is with the diets that everyone around the world has, they're not able to get all the nutrients and resources they need to, or optimally build things like testosterone, human growth hormone, all that good stuff that helps you in the gym. So instead of doing something like paying money and taking these supplements, why not instead do something like fix your diet and become more healthy? Because that's what's really going to boost your testosterone. And why I really say this is because there's a saying, when you talk about people that have really low testosterone, it's always something like this. They're usually short, fat, and bald. And that's like the main things that happen when you have really low testosterone. So how do you go about changing that? If you lean down and you gain more muscle, you're going to increase how much testosterone you get. The more muscle you build, the more anabolic you are, the more testosterone you're going to have, because your body has to basically adapt. So if you have this much muscle and this much testosterone, when you force your body to start making more muscle, you need more testosterone. And it just kind of keeps climbing and climbing and climbing until you eventually reach your optimal self, where you really can't do anything to increase your testosterone, even marginally, by taking, an iron supplement or a magnesium supplement or whatever it is. So I would really like for people to just start focusing on being more healthy, be it they're lifting more weights, or they're losing weight, or they're eating more properly. You're going to see way more gains, not only because it's better for you. Like, you're going to see more gains if you go to the gym and you have a shit diet and you don't take any supplements and all that, than if you don't go to the gym and you don't do cardio or whatever and you just take all these random supplements, right? And I think that everyone really knows that. They just, when they hear someone with, a million subscribers saying, yeah, take this supplement, take that supplement, whatever, and it's going to increase your testosterone, they're more inclined to do that because it seems easier, basically. And that's a lot of the problems that are in the fitness industry. Things that seem easy are always the things that become super trendy, and everyone starts making videos about them, and some people promote them, some people obviously don't promote them because they don't work. Anything that seems like it's too easy is never going to work. There's a little fitness tip of the day. Anything that seems easy isn't going to work. It takes hard work to become your most optimal self. And people need to start realizing that. Taking these supplements isn't going to do that. It will help you marginally, but not enough in the long run to where you're going to see, like, a good amount of, like, any gains, really. So let's talk more about testosterone more specifically. So the normal range, people say the normal range is between like 200 to 1,000. Your testosterone should be somewhere in there, and that's average. And that makes absolutely no fucking sense, because that's an 800 milligram per deciliter, or I forget what the actual, it's something per deciliter, but 200 to 1,000, that's a very large range, right? And if you actually look up the average amount of testosterone you have per deciliter of blood, it is 600 milligrams, or 669 milligrams to be perfectly exact. So I don't think you need to go to an endocrinologist, which is the person that would take your blood and see what hormones are optimal and not optimal, and they'll tell you, yeah, you should take this supplement, take us, whatever, and they might prescribe HRT to boost your testosterone, or whatever. They sort all that out. They're the doctor in that field. They know what they're talking about. So if you have the ability to go and do that, and you want to, then by all means go and do it. It's good to see, rather than just, I feel not optimal, I'm just going to go work out and blah blah blah, whatever, and that'll work. That will 100% work without a doubt. But I feel like it's more smart to obviously listen to someone that's a doctor and knows what they're talking about, especially when it comes to things like hormones, because no matter how much you study, no matter how good your diet is, no matter how hard you train, hormones are something that you really can't completely control. You could always have some random disorder that you have really low human growth hormone, or you have really high estrogen, or you have a really low testosterone, or sometimes you even have super high testosterone. There's just always random things like that that you can't really help. People have thyroid problems, they have all types of different problems. They can get problems anywhere, and it's going to affect your hormones in some way. Doesn't matter what you do, it's going to affect your hormones. And it obviously does, because, like I said, the more muscle you gain and the leaner you get, it's going to increase your testosterone. So the less muscle you have and the more fat you have, the less testosterone you have. So you have to realize that everything that you do, everything that you eat affects these hormones. So you have to you want to be as optimal as you possibly can. Now, I'm not saying you need to eat a completely balanced diet. You need to have, like people say, you need to have a certain amount of grains, a certain amount of meat, some dairy, some vegetables, fruits, or whatever. Like, you don't need to do that every single day. I don't think you need to, and I would not prescribe it to somebody, basically. It's just too much of a hassle, really. But I would like people to start really just focusing more on eating healthier foods, instead of, going and eating pizza once a week on Friday or whatever. Just don't do that, obviously. Make better food. Make some chicken breasts, make some steak, do whatever you need to do. Don't go out and eat fast food. Try to limit your sugar. Try to just not eat as much, whether, depending upon what your gains are, obviously, or your goals, not your gains. And I think that's vastly more important than worrying about these minor things like, oh, my magnesium's low or my iron's low. Now, this does go completely different than people who actually need to go and do that, and that's when I would say that going to an endocrinologist or some other type of doctor that is able to determine what could be wrong with you is very important, because there are in some cases where you do need to take a supplement. Like, you just have to, if your body doesn't produce it, or you just have limitations. And a good example of this is my fiance. My fiance is a vegetarian, so she can't eat meat. She has really low magnesium, really low iron levels. She's anemic, so she has to take those supplements, because it's extremely hard to get those nutrients without eating meat or eating like heavier protein foods. And so she has to do that, And if people have really low testosterone, and maybe they're perfectly fit, maybe they're like me. I could have really low testosterone. I wouldn't know. I would doubt it, but I don't know, because I've never gone to an endocrinologist. So let's say I did, and apparently my testosterone levels are really low. They're in, like, I don't know, let's say the 300s, and it's supposed to be, like I said, 669. So they'd prescribe me TRT, the testosterone replacement therapy, and it's technically a steroid, but in the long run, I think it'd be better to have an optimal level of your hormones rather than a too low level, even if it's a synthetic part of it, like TRT would be or HRT would be. And that's another thing I want to get into is I think I've talked about this, and I know many other people have talked about this, the stigma on steroids, really. And so many people have so many different opinions on it. People say, oh, steroids are bad, but somehow SARMs are okay. And then some people look at it like any type of testosterone, whether it be synthetic, it not be synthetic, is just bad for you. It causes health defects, it just puts you at risk for heart disease and liver cancer and blah 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 blah. But in my general opinion, I would rather see someone be, even if it did, let's say uh like a doctor prescribed to you TRT and he said 100% without a doubt, when you turn 80 years old you're going to die of a heart attack or whatever. So for 80 years, or I guess it would be more, let's say you're 20 now, so you have 60 years and you have the choice to either not be on TRT or HRT, whatever it may be, and for the next 60 years you're going to be, if you don't choose to take it, for the next 60 years you're going to feel like crap. You're going to feel like you have been for the entirety of your life. You're just not going to feel great. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to be optimally healthy. And maybe you end up living an extra 15 years or 20 years or, whatever it may be. You may live that long. But would you rather be happy, completely happy, optimal, everything is going good, everything is perfect, you're always happy, it doesn't matter what you're doing, and not to say that testosterone is going to do that for you, because there are environmental factors, not just factors inside your body that do that, but just for the sake of the argument, we'll say that environmental factors don't exist, and it's just completely based on your hormones. Would you rather be, for the next 80 years, be miserable, or for the next 60 years, be as happy as you possibly can? I don't know about you, but for me, I would rather be as happy as I possibly can be for 60 years rather than be completely miserable for 80. Now, that's just my general opinion. I'm sure a lot of people may agree with me, they may not agree with me, but it is what it is. It's completely your opinion, and you can do the research on TRT and steroids and SARMs and all that good stuff if you want to, but I would like to see, especially if you have a problem with testosterone and you go to an endocrinologist, you have a problem and you have to choose, do I take TRT, do I not take TRT? And I want someone, hopefully you watch this video and you realize this is what this guy said. Happy for 60 years or miserable for 80? What's better, And I'd rather see somebody live happily and optimally as long as they possibly can than live miserably and not optimally as long as they possibly can. And in more cases, often than not, I would say that living miserably and not optimally is going to kill you a lot faster than something like taking TRT or steroids are, unless you're abusing them. It's a completely different scenario, and that's not what I'm talking about. Abusing steroids, SARMs, TRT, whatever it may be, is completely different than taking doses that are just put you in the optimal zone. So if you're at 300 and you boost it up to the average, which is 669, then I feel like that's perfectly fine. But if you're at 300 or you're you're not at an optimal level, like already at 669, let's say, and you boost it up to, 1,500, like that's a completely different scenario, and I would not at all recommend abusing PDs or steroids or whatever it may be, but putting yourself in the optimal zone so you can live optimally and be more happy because of it, and it potentially solving a lot of the problems you may have in your life. I feel like that's a lot better solution. But now that I've covered that about the steroid part and living optimally and blah 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 blah, back to the supplement part. I kind of went on a little tangent there, but the supplements. So if you do have problems or I guess symptoms of having low testosterone or low human growth hormone or whatever it may be, you have symptoms of that, will taking supplements fix that? No, it will not. Like I said, it's very marginal. You'll see very marginal testosterone boost if you do it at all. Instead, like I said, eat healthier, train harder, do more cardio, and try to work your way up to be as optimal as you can, and eventually your hormones will level out. The more healthy you get, the more your hormones are going to level out, and the more you're going to be more optimal in your lifestyle. You're going to be more happy, and that's what I'm trying to get at is don't expect to pay all this money for supplements and expect it to do what hard work is meant to do. And hard work is what I'm saying, eating healthy and training harder And I just really want to drive that home. I don't think I hit this enough in the video, is that that is going to get you more gains than taking any supplement ever will. Be it these minor supplements like iron, magnesium, whatever, or even TRT. You're going to see massively more gains by just training harder and eating better, both in the health department as well as gaining muscle and losing fat, than just taking supplements like that and expecting it to do some magic work. And that's what I'm really trying to get at. But if you're actually looking to increase your testosterone, like I said, the supplements aren't going to do it for you. Maybe taking TRT it will boost your testosterone, but it's not going to do anything for you if you don't put in the work for it to actually do something. So working out and eating better is going to be massively better than taking any supplement. And that's the main part of this video. So if you were looking here, oh, how do I increase my testosterone? You know, I take this supplement, I take that supplement. That's not at all what this is. This is me telling you that's not how it fucking works. It's me telling you eating healthy and training harder is what's going to get you to have better testosterone. And that's a real fact. That's how it works. The more anabolic you are, the more testosterone you're going to produce to maintain and continue building that muscle. That's an actual scientific fact. That's not me just saying, you know, if you work out, you're going to be healthier, and the healthier you are, testosterone. It's an actual fact. The more you work out, lifting heavier, lifting harder, doing whatever you need to do, it is going to increase your testosterone. That is how it works. So if you have a bad lifestyle, if you're short, fat, bald, ugly, whatever it may be, hit the gym, eat healthier, and your life will slowly start to progress. The harder you work, the faster it's going to progress. And people really need to realize that hard work is what's going to get you there. Nothing else is going to get you there but hard work. Doesn't matter what you take, doesn't matter how many steroids, doesn't matter how many milligrams, it doesn't matter anything besides how much work you're willing to put in. That's what's going to get you there. And I went on it. This video was like a huge tangent, basically just trashing other videos about saying, take this supplement, take that supplement, whatever. People just need to realize training harder is what's going to get you there. Train harder than you did yesterday, train harder than the day before, the day before, the day before. Always be training harder than you did previously. And that's what people need to start realizing. And this goes for everything in life, not just the gym or losing weight or whatever. Anything you do, if you want to progress in anything, do it better than you did last time. And that's really all I got for this video. If you enjoyed this video, if you like this video, if you actually want to see a video me explaining how to properly increase your testosterone, things that you should do, how you should live, things like that, please leave it down in the comments and I will gladly make that video if you want me to. I have no problem doing that, but again, I'll drive home in that video that supplements and, you know, lifting heavy, but it's training harder, but supplements and just eating certain types of foods isn't going to get you there. It's going to be training harder. That's what's going to get you there. So that's all I really got to say. If you enjoyed this video, like the video, comment down below. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy any of this video or any other of my videos. And if you want to watch more, there will be more right here. So please go and do that. It means a lot. And I will see you in the next one.